Hey everybody, welcome back to Level Uploading, Fight Feelings, Face Facts with yours truly, Shay. Guys, quick pop in. This one is going to be a nice quick episode. This is going to be extremely quick. This is something that I actually said today, and I want to dive a little bit deeper into it. So there was a post today on Facebook where they asked anonymous questions, and this woman was basically saying that her she's clingy, that her boyfriend is amazing in all ways, but he just is not affectionate. He doesn't want to have any type of PDA with her. He's not, affectionate whatsoever. He falls asleep on the couch. She says she has anxiety attacks when he is like that because she just thinks that he is not into her. And I was just really taken aback because we have to learn how to love people, but also love ourselves. We have to learn to give people the space they need. We can't suffocate people into loving us. We can't nag people into loving us. We can't force people to love us. And also, love is not being clingy and up under each other 1,000 times either. Yes, there's a place for quality time, affection, cuddling and things like that. But we have to address the fact that sometimes you can hold on to something so tightly that you destroy it. And basically what her whole post was basically saying, like, he is withdrawing from her because she's suffocating him. And I can honestly say, I don't think I was quite that bad in the past, but I look back at myself in past years, and as a teenager growing up and as a young adult, and a lot more inexperienced. And I can't help but kind of have a self-reflective moment with myself. I thought, well, hey, why not hop on here and see if you guys possibly could relate. I've had times where I've had people who, the more that they pulled away, the more I reached for them. Instead of letting something flow to me and be for me, I use it as a challenge to make them love me, or to force them to love me, or to force them to want to be with me. And that sounds terrible. That sounds disturbing when you say it out loud.
Not on my watch.
But in my mind back then, I thought that was what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to show them that you're down for them. You're supposed to show them that you're a writer. You're supposed to make them see the value that you have.
Stop it. Get some help.
But the healing, I'm not going to say healed because healing is an ongoing process. The healing part of me looks back at that and I just shake my head like, girl, what were you doing? But you don't know what you don't know. You know? You don't know what you don't know. And so whatever attachment style that I was going off of, it came from somewhere. It came from my early years relationship with my father, vying for his time. Yes, I grew up with my dad for majority of my childhood life, but vying for his time. His priorities was work, and once he wasn't at work, it was hanging out with his friends, kicking it. His priority was not cultivating close relationships with his girls. Yes, we have a relationship. Yes, we have a bond. And now as an adult, we are 1,000 times better, and that's my boy. Like we have worked for that. But as a young child and not having communication skills and not having the power to even speak up about some of the things that I wanted to speak up about, I believe that a lot of that was attached to me being comfortable with chasing and tap dancing for a man's attention. Let's just be honest. So it's like,
Daddy, can we go to the zoo?
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna take you to the zoo.
my mom was taking me everywhere. So it's like, I want to go somewhere with my daddy other than to go hang with his friends. Like, my dad used to literally take us, well, specifically me, but he took both of us to go hang with his friends. Like, if he was hanging out, y'all go play and y'all run around so I can watch you, but I'm hanging with my friends. Like, that was top priority for him. And like I said in my previous episode, parents need grace too. I know he was a young guy, and he had his own stuff that he was going through, had his own stuff that he had to overcome with his own parenting, his own lifestyle, his own childhood. And I have a lot of grace for him, and I'm so glad that we were able to mend those things and get to a better place. But I just know that back then, especially before me and him mended those fences, baby, it was normalized for me to jump through hoops, essentially, just for the bare minimum of love and attention and affection. And I'm just so glad that God had delivered me from that. He's been a very faithful and good God. He has, because that was something that could have really deteriorated my self-worth, my self-value, my destiny. I could have been attached to someone who really didn't even care or want me. And so one thing that I'm really embracing in this season is just being thankful for what he's brought me through. No, I'm not perfect. No, I'm not where I want to be yet. But he has brought me so far. And even in my last relationship was with someone who was a truck driver. So that was really good for me to test out, my attachment style was nowhere close to how it used to be. Didn't want to be or have to be up under them. I had my own stuff going on. I had my podcast. Yes, I was still, very present in their world. But, in hindsight, I still realized that I was present in their world, but they were not present in mine. And so that's something that I addressed after that relationship ended. I had to address that and really say okay, so it's okay for you to make sacrifices and compromises, but for whatever reason you don't think that you're worth somebody making sacrifices and compromises to find out what you like, what you love, to be there for the things that you enjoy. If I had a friend who only wanted to do what they wanted to do all the time and never wanted to do anything that I want to do ever, I would end the friendship. So what was the difference? What, because this was a man? Because this was me regressing back into those old ways of just trying to get a morsel of your time. Yes, you're on the road all the time. So now when you're here, let's make the best out of it. I don't want to bring up the fact that you've canceled on going to jazz night with me several times. But I'm always present at all of your events. I don't want to bring up the fight. We only see each other on the weekends. I don't want to fight about it. You know what I'm saying? And I just really had to address the fact that as healed as I had been and have been for quite some time, working on that, I still have my moments where I regress. And so I'm giving myself some grace and a pat on the back, because I know that I'm just continuing to get better. And the more that I self-reflect, and the more that I take the time to really address the elephants in the room or the things that are swept under the rug, the more that I do that, the better off I am for myself, for God, for my purpose, for the people who need my story. I want to connect and share more things with you guys about myself personally. It's not just all about, it's not all about me just talking about do this, don't do that. I've said that 1,000 times. I have shared plenty of stories here, and I want to continue to do that. But I just want you to ask yourself, are you holding on to something so tightly that you are destroying it? Are you holding on to something so tightly and it doesn't even want to be there? Are you holding on to something so tightly that it's not even for you? You're holding on to this, and your hands are full from what God really wants for you. Take a minute to think about that. What God really has for you is waiting, but you can't even receive it because your hands are full. You guys, please just take moments to think about that. Have an amazing evening. I'll talk to you on my next episode. Bye.